So this is the inactive attribute. Okay, the same attribute I have mentioned in the events as well. And value. Also, I have mentioned from false to true. So the inactive attribute false to true. Okay, is it clear? Yes, okay. So I have updated in the spreadsheet. Let me save whether the lever event is going to get triggered. We'll check. So HR people has updated. You can think it away. In that way they have updated because they leave the company. They left the company. So now, as usual, account aggregation will happen. People, soft account aggregation, let's execute that. Go to task results. Okay, it's been executed successfully. So now some trigger snapshot has been here. You can check identities updated 3, but these 3 identities something has updated. Now you can go to debug page. You can those identities. Let's say when I let me open this identity here, some trigger snapshot has been generated. So here you can check based on some attribute change. Okay, so here each and every details are there, like department location display, each and everything. Is that each, every detail? So if I'm going to refresh the task, refresh this identity cube, what will happen? It will generate one event because already I have configured in the LCM event saying when moment attribute is going to change as live's lever event has to trigger something like that. So this is the trigger snapshot. So the same it will generate. It has generated for all identities. Do you have a door fee for VIP dances on weekend big days as well? We need to pay the door fee as well. You are on mute. Okay. So that's so far clear, right? So let me pick other identity as well. Okay, Naven for Naven identity. Also some trigger snapshot has generated based on some attribute change. For Rama identity as well. Some trigger snapshot has generated. If I'm going to pick other identity, it won't be there. Let's say, allies for trigger snapshot, it won't be there. Okay, so what I'll do? I'll refresh these 3 identities, and some event will get generated. So let's go to refresh identity queue. The task. So let me refresh for all identities. What will happen? Which? So it's refreshing all the identities, right? So that is the reason we will create some custom tasks where we can refresh only for particular identity. It won't take time. In real-time scenarios, it will take some 10 minutes to 10 minutes, but in my local lab, it will take. Average random is 42 seconds. So in that scenario, you can create some custom tasks, and you can refresh the particular identity. Let's check what it will do. So it's going to examine all 175 identities something, and it will trigger the event. So whoever has trigger snapshot present in their identity, it will trigger event for them. Okay, here you can check. So identities examined, 174 managers. These are the normal thing, policy violation. Here you can check, even process to 3. Now what you can do? You can go to those identities like Vene and Naven. Go to Events. From here, you will be able to check. The lever event has been triggered for this identity. So what it will do? Disable all accounts when a user leaves. So some workflow has been launched. Launcher, lever. So now go to Setup Task. Go to Task Results. You can check. It's impending. Connection timed out. Connect something? Okay. So since we didn't write any code for that for lever, even so, it won't remove any access. But basically, if you have written already it could have removed the access. So that's the purpose. So lever event has been triggered for Vene identity. Let's check for another identity. Let's say Naven. Now go to event stack for him also. Some lever event has been triggered. Refresh identity. Cube has happened, so some other thing happened. So now go to application accounts. All accounts will be active only because we didn't return any custom code in the lever workflow. So this is how lever event is going to get triggered. So after this lever event success, that's it. Access will be removed from his identity, cube. Our account will be disabled. So, based on the requirement, you can write this lever event. So any questions for this lever event, how it's going to be triggered based on some attribute change? Yes. Can you please say again? Come again, Vardish. Yeah, can you? Could you please repeat from beginning for lever? Yeah, no issue. For each and every event. Basically, we will be creating these events here. Lifecycle events. If it is joiner, then we will create joiner event, and inside that, we will select the workflow using that workflow. Access is going to provide it. Okay, the event type we have to sell. It's going to be created for always for joiner event. It's going to be created, right? If it is a lever event, then in that scenario, you have to create another event for that time. Go to Setup Lifecycle Events. You have to create one event in your local system. In your local lab also, it will be created automatically. It will be there. Since it's an out-of-the-box one, the event it comes with default. You can use that. Or else if you are not comfortable, then you can create another LCM event saying, lever some other thing, lever even something. So always lever event will get triggered based on some attribute change. Okay, so this attribute, you have to decide which attribute from user identity attribute you have to select based on some inactive or start date, termination date. You have to select the attribute. Particularly so in my scenario. I have attribute over here. Termination date attribute is there, but I don't assign any value. That is the reason it's not populating over here. Okay, this is like, if you don't have a value, that attribute at least should come up right. The only one. So here I'm able to pull start date because I have given some value here. Random value if given. Let me open another identity, but this is a... Okay, the event window which we were checking is not specific to this identity. I'll go to identity mappings, because in the identity mappings for start date, I have given some value.